Imagine yourself in one of the most beautiful places in the world, China, and surrounded by its vibrant culture. My name is Trevor Stickle, and today I will be discussing Chinese culture and customs. I first learned about China in school and by watching videos and shows. I also come from an Asian background, and my grandma from the Philippines was also adopted by a Chinese couple in her youth. They left us few traditions, so that made me want to learn more about this culture that has influenced my family even today. I will begin by reviewing Chinese culture and then discussing Chinese communication styles, and lastly, talking about a current event occurring in the country. Let me begin by reviewing Chinese culture. According to the 2020 Culturegrams Online World Edition's entry on China, under the section Lifestyle, Customs, and Courtesies, the Spring Festival is the most important event of the year. It is marked by dragon dances, fireworks, family gatherings, festivals, and banquets. It also lasts 15 days. In addition to the Spring Festival, there is the Double Seventh Festival, and this is also known as Chinese Valentine's Day. It is commemorated in honor of two lovers who were separated by the Milky Way, and this was the only day of the year they could come together again. Chinese people tend to value simplistic clothing. In urban areas, the style tends to be more Western, and in rural areas, it tends to be less modern. Ethnic minorities will also wear clothing that are reflective of their culture and their climate. Chinese people usually dress up for special occasions. For formal events or traditional festivals, they will wear their traditional attire. For women, it is the qiangsam, and for men, it is the changpao or the Mandarin jacket. Now that I've discussed Chinese culture, I'll move on to their communication styles. According to Gert Hofstede and Michael Minkoff, and their research page, What About China, last updated in 2010, China ranks 20% in the individual rating for countries compared to the 91% of individualism in the States. This means that China is more of a collectivist country and the US is more individualistic in comparison. Due to this collectivist nature, in-group factors tend to influence considerations for jobs or promotions. These in-groups, such as family members, tend to have preferential treatment when it comes to these positions. In terms of power distance, China ranks 80% compared to the 40% in the United States. This means that Chinese people tend to accept inequalities in society more easily. The superior-subordinate relationship is polarized, and there is no defense for abuse. Chinese people tend to be heavily influenced by their formal authorities and are more believing in the capabilities of their leaders. And now that I've talked about communication styles, I'll move on to a current event taking place in the country. China has begun cracking down on its Muslim population in order to create a more unified China. According to the article, China's crackdown on Muslims extends to a resort island by Keith Bratzer and Amy Chen in the February 14th, 2021 edition of the New York Times. The Utsuls, a Muslim community of no more than 10,000 on the island of Sanya, have become targets for the Chinese Communist Party in their campaign against foreign influences and religions. The government has justified this by making these restrictions to prevent violent religious extremism. And they have used this rationale to clamp down on Muslim populations in the West. Also, the president of the party and the party itself have denied their opposition to Islam. Although with President Xi in charge, there have been many Muslim mosques, shrines, and minarets that have been torn down. The Utsuls have been hailed as a bridge in the Muslim world. They have served as a bridge to the Muslim communities in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And whenever the Chinese wanted to expand into the Arabic world and have more relations with them, the Utsuls were celebrated previously, and due to this, they have played a crucial role in President Xi's initiative for the Belt Road Initiative, where he would get more funding for infrastructure for China all over the world, and this would ultimately increase China's political sway. With that said, let me conclude by reminding you that we first reviewed Chinese culture, then their communication styles, and lastly, a current event taking place in the country. China has a culture with many traditions and customs, and it is with these traits together that have formed such a beautiful and remarkable place. Thank you.